Good morning. Good to see you guys this morning. Welcome. It is Thursday. No, it's Wednesday, the 19th of August. Hope everybody is doing well. Kevin here. Just enjoying our week. We are in the thick of getting our kids ready to go on to the next thing for them. So Aiden leaves on Saturday for missions work, and that'll be in California. And then Cole is leaving on Monday for college. And so we're doing all kinds of stuff. And it's been a little bit busy, and it's been a little bit hectic and a little bit stressful, but we're making it through. And in the midst of everything that has been going on with, coronavirus and, just the stress of life and work and family and relationships and things like that, I started to think about just how we apprehend, how we come into the promises of God, how we come into the blessings of God. How do we experience the things that God has for us? How do we become the people that God made us to be? And, I was thinking about sort of the culture that we live in. And one of the better ways to understand the culture that we live in is to actually get out of it. And one of the things that I have always been impressed by or been struck by is I actually have been able to travel to several parts of the world in my life. So I've been to Asia, I've been to China and Thailand, I've been up to Iceland and various parts of Europe, and just gotten to see some really neat things in my time. And the thing that strikes me every single time I leave the country is that interestingly, I come back and I am able to see the culture of America with greater clarity and with a different set of lenses. And I always come back thinking that we are the land of convenience. We are the land of convenience. And one of the hallmarks of American culture is to make life easy, to make it convenient, and to be able to orchestrate a life where we have to do next to nothing. And so I was thinking about just some of the advances in technology these days that really are all about making our lives easier, right? So your iPhone and every app on it is about entertaining us, entertaining you, and making your life easier. Now we have self-driving cars. We have microwave popcorn because we can't take the time to pour popcorn kernels in the bottom of a pan with oil and wait for that to pop. We have Amazon same day shipping, right? How amazing is it that we can decide that we want either a sofa or a bag of Doritos and pick it out online and have it sitting on our front porch 8 hours later, right? We have Dunkin' Donuts that is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, so that we can always get the donut and the coffee that we feel like no matter what time of day it is. And then we've got all this smart Nest technology, right? Like on your iPhone, you can preheat your oven, close your garage door, set the temperature in your house, answer the phone, all kinds of things with just a click of a button on your app, no matter where it is that you are on planet Earth. And so we really are a culture that so embraces ease, so embraces comfort and making life so that we don't have to strive, so that we don't have to work, so that we aren't challenged at all. But our success in convenience and our success in ease has actually worked to confuse us and to undermine us in some really, really important, significant ways. We're told, you guys, every single day that the good life will come by way of life becoming easier. It'll come by life becoming faster and more comfortable. And sometimes we're even taught that the faster, more comfortable, easier life is the definition of the good life. But I want to challenge that. And I want to say, you guys, that really the things that make life really good, the things that really bring blessing in our lives can actually only come after a battle, right? And like we want peace in our hearts. We want to feel peaceful. We want to feel grounded. We want to feel safe and secure. But we live in an unpeaceful world. We live in a tumultuous world, in a world that is at war in so many different ways. And so we want peace, except we're surrounded by a lack of peace. We want to have health and joy in our relationships. We want to have great marriages if we're married. We want to have great children if we've got them. We want to have a great relationship with our parents or with our coworkers or our friends. But that doesn't come very easily, because your spouse and your friends and your parents and your children and your coworkers, they're all messed up, right? And guess what? So are you. We are all messed up, and yet we want to have peaceful, healthy, functioning, thriving relationships with each other. We want to have intimacy with God, right? We want to have intimacy with God and deep connection with Him, friendship with God. We want our hearts to be captured by Him and enthralled by Him. We want to be drawn to God. And yet there is a culture that we live in, and there is a work of the enemy that is constantly drawing us away from God's presence, drawing us away from God's heart, drawing us away from His reality and His values and all the characteristics of God and His kingdom, right? We're constantly being pulled away from that, and yet we want to draw closer to God. We want others around us to love Jesus and to come to faith, but we live in a culture where people don't grow up going to church anymore. They have no concept, no framework for Jesus. They have no framework for church. And so we are fighting an uphill battle. And so everything that we want in life that is truly valuable will be contested. Everything that is good, all the blessings of God, whatever it is that God has for us in terms of blessings or mission, it all will be contested. Every square inch, every step that we take will be contested. In other words, we have to fight. We have to learn to fight, and we have to learn that life is a fight. Every day, you and I will wake up and we'll have a decision to make. And the decision that we have to make is are we going to fight today? Are we going to fight for the blessing? Are we going to fight for the breakthrough? Are we going to fight for our marriages? Are we going to fight for our children? Are we going to fight for our workplaces? Are we going to fight for the church? Are we going to fight for the kingdom to come on earth as it is in heaven? Are we going to fight for God's presence? Because every step will be contested by the enemy, by the world, by our own flesh. Life will be a fight. And I wanted to read for you guys what Paul wrote to Timothy when Paul was not far at all from, basically he was kind of knew that he was retiring. And it wasn't just retirement to go off and play golf. He knew that his time was coming to an end. He knew that he was about to be executed. And Timothy was his protege. He was his disciple, and he mentored Timothy, and he taught Timothy how to be a minister of the gospel and how to lead and how to plant churches and things like that. And so in Paul's last letter to Timothy, he kind of concluded what this life has been like for him in this Christian life, and he wanted to challenge Timothy. And so he said this in 2 Timothy chapter 4, starting at verse 1, and we're going to go through verse 9 or verse 8. And he says this: in the presence of God and in Christ Jesus, who will judge the living and the dead, and in view of His appearing in His kingdom, I give you this charge. Here's the charge, and this is a charge for Timothy, and it's a charge for you and me. I give you this charge. Preach the word. Be prepared in season and out of season, right? So there will be seasons for us when things are easy, and there will be seasons for us when things are fruitful, and there will be seasons when we are not in season, when there is no fruit showing, when it's cold and it's hard, the ground is hard, and everything is just seems like it's going nowhere. And he says, be prepared in both of those seasons. Be sowing in both of those seasons. Be prepared in season and out of season. Correct, rebuke, and encourage with great patience and careful instruction. For the time will come when men will not put up with sound doctrine. Instead, to suit their own desires, they'll gather around them a great number of teachers to say what their itching ears want to hear. My ear is itching right now. They'll gather around the men to say exactly what their itching ears want to hear. They'll turn aside to myths, but you keep your head in all situations, endure hardship, do the work of an evangelist, discharge all the duties of your ministry. In other words, do everything that you're made for, do everything that you're called for. And then he talks about himself and he said, for I am already being poured out like a drink offering. And sometimes it feels that way, doesn't it? That we are being poured out. For I am poured out like a drink offering, and the time has come for my departure. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. And now there is in store for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day. And not only to me, but also to all who have longed for his appearing. I'm going to just read that last part again. For I'm already being poured out like a drink offering. This is us. And the time has come for my departure. I have fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. And now there is in store for me a crown of righteousness, which the Lord, the righteous judge, will award to me on that day. And not only to me, but also to all who have longed for his appearing. And so this world needs a people, the followers of Jesus, a kingdom people who will fight for the blessing, who will fight for the breakthrough. We need to fight, you guys, for our spouses. We need to fight for our kids. We need to fight for our parents. We need to fight for our friends. We need to fight for our coworkers in our workplaces. We need to fight for the church. We need to fight for the kingdom to come. It will not be handed to us in a silver platter. It will not be a microwavable kingdom. It will not be a self-driving kingdom. It won't be something that we could just touch an app and get the breakthrough that we need, the breakthrough that God promises for us. It will only come by way of a fight. I want to share 2 Samuel chapter 10, verse 12 as my concluding verse. And it says this. Samuel says, be strong. Let us fight bravely for our people and for the cities of God. The Lord will do what is good in his sight. Be strong. Let us fight bravely for our people and for the cities of God. And the Lord will do what is good in his sight. And so my challenge to you today is to take up the challenge. My challenge to you is to fight. Fight bravely for the people in your life and fight for the cities of God, the cities that you and I live in. And only that way will we see the blessing come. Only that way will we see the healing come. Only that way will we see the breakthrough come. But the breakthrough will come when we are up for the fight. The healing will come. The blessing, the peace, the joy, all of that will come because God will do what is good in his sight. Okay. God bless you guys. Keep up the good work. Keep fighting. We're proud of you. We're praying for you, and we love you.